Your safety as an officer is always the first priority. However, in order to be safe and effective, officers must be able to distinguish between a threat and a stereotype. Under emergency circumstances, events always determine an officer's response. This presentation deals only with non-emergency and non-crisis situations.
Driver's license and registration, please.
Yes, officer.
Is this your most current identification?
Yes, it is. It needs to be updated.
Do you prefer if I call you ma'am or sir?
Ma'am, please.
Ma'am, do you know why I stopped you here today?
No, officer.
The reason I stopped you is you have a taillight out on the right side.
Oh,
Wait right here while I verify your information.
yes, officer.
All right, ma'am. I'll just be issuing you a warning here today. Just make sure you get that taillight fixed as soon as possible.
Yes, sir, officer. Thank you.
You're welcome. Drive safe.
Hey, I don't have to be in the room with you to know what probably just happened. Somebody just snickered, laughed, or made a joke. Trust me, I know. I'm a cop too. As police officers, we use humor to deal with things that make us uncomfortable or afraid. We're human, and we know we mean no harm. It's our way of coping. But we have to admit it, to outsiders, it's perceived as unprofessional and disrespectful. Remember, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. If someone feels disrespected, they're less likely to trust us or cooperate. Now, the previous scenario demonstrated a common way that many police officers come into contact with members of the transgender community. That officer handled it perfectly by asking clarifying questions that were relevant to his contact, respectful, and professional. The driver felt respected and cooperated, leading to an effective and safe encounter. Let's start with some basics. Terminology. We need to take a closer look at three basic terms and the distinct differences between how we define them. They are assigned sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity. Assigned sex is also known as birth sex. It refers to the biological or physiological designation as male or female at birth, usually based on anatomy. Transgender individuals are people whose internal feelings of being male or female are not consistent with their assigned sex. Now, it's estimated that about 700,000 transgender individuals live in the United States. They can be found in every walk of life, including law enforcement. Sexual orientation refers to a person's physical and/or emotional attraction to people of a specific gender. It refers to who someone loves, feels attracted to, or with whom they desire to have an intimate relationship. Heterosexual, bisexual, gay, or lesbian are all types of sexual orientations. Every person has an internal psychological gender identity, a sense of who they feel they are in terms of gender, even if it's not consistent with their assigned sex. Gender identity is best viewed as a broad spectrum, with stereotypical masculine male being at one end and stereotypical feminine female being at the other end. Some people identify at many points along that spectrum, not just at the extreme ends. Just a few more tips to help you. You may hear the term transgender male or transgender female. Now, simply put, these terms refer to transgender individuals and describe the gender they are presenting and/or transitioning to. You may also see or hear the terms male to female, or M to F, or female to male, F to M. They mean exactly what they say. It identifies a transgender individual by stating to which gender they are presenting and/or transitioning. Lastly, the term trans is often used by some as shorthand to refer to transgender individuals or, by and large, the transgender community. While it may be acceptable to some, the safest term to use is the entire word transgender. When in doubt, it's always best to ask an individual what their preference is. Just simply ask, how would you like to be addressed? Using the correct or preferred pronouns demonstrates respect and lets the individual know that you're knowledgeable about their community, which is both reassuring and shows you're a true professional. If you remember to keep your questions relevant to the investigation or contact, respectful, and professional,